Hey, what's up everybody? Ben here from blogwithben.com, and in today's video we're diving into the world of AI with PicLumen, a completely free AI image generator. And the images that you're looking at right now were created with PicLumen and are completely free. There's no watermarks, no upsells, and there's literally no way to even buy anything. PicLumen is a 100% free alternative to a lot of the other AI image generators out there, and in this video I'll walk you through the basics from setting up your account to navigating the dashboard. We'll definitely create some beautiful artwork, and we'll even explore some advanced features that can help you unlock the full potential of this incredible tool. And real quick before we get started, if you get any value out of this video, I would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe to the Blog with Ben YouTube channel. Helps me bring you more resources, and it keeps you up to date with all of the AI and tech trends happening throughout the year. But either way, thank you so much for all your support. Alright, with that being said, let's get started. So getting started with PicLumen is super easy and free. Simply visit their homepage, PicLumen.com. I've linked to it in the video description below, and click the Generate for Free button. Then you have a couple options here. You can click the sign up link and then sign up with a new account. You'll enter an email address and password and then go through some quick additional steps to create your account. Or you could sign up via your Google account. That's what I'm going to do, so I'll click the Google button and then select the Google account that you want to sign in with and then confirm the connection. And in a few moments, you'll be taken to your new PicLumen account homepage. This is like home base for getting started and is where you'll start creating your AI images. But before we do, let me give you a quick tour of this interface so that you could have a solid understanding of where everything is. In this portion of the tutorial, I'm going to give you a quick tour of your dashboard so that you'll have a solid understanding of how to use and navigate through PicLumen. So starting on the left-hand side of the screen is the sidebar menu, and towards the upper left corner of that sidebar menu are your navigation controls. And by default, they start you out on the Explore page. This is where you can browse and search through thousands of AI images generated by other PicLumen users. This is a great way to get inspired and experiment with different styles and prompts, which we'll do in just a few moments. Then below that is the Create menu item, and clicking this will take you to the image generator where you'll create all of your images, and we'll definitely do that in just a bit as well. Then next is the Tutorial menu item, and this takes you to the PicLumen Knowledge Center filled with a ton of very helpful tutorials and walkthroughs. And I highly recommend checking these out whenever you have some extra time. Then in the bottom left corner, you have the ability to switch the dark mode off and on. The dark mode's currently on, but flipping that switch will turn it off and the screen will become light if that's what you prefer. And then below that is how you can access your account info as well as log out of your account altogether. Then whatever you have selected in the sidebar menu will display here on the right-hand side of the screen. I currently have the Explore menu item selected, and you'll get this great community feed of all the AI generated images that are made by other people within the PicLumen community. This feed is constantly updated with user creations, and you can filter them by random, latest, hot, and likes. There's even a search bar that you could use to search by keyword if you'd like. And then all you'll do is just scroll down the feed to browse and check out the other images that PicLumen users are creating. Then if you find an image that you like, you can actually click on it, and that'll give you some more information about the image, like the prompt and negative prompt used. You can even copy the prompts to use on your own images. You could also share, download, and even remix the image, and we'll do all of that a little later on. But again, this community feed is a great resource for ideas and inspiration when it comes to using PicLumen. Then finally, in the bottom right corner is a little notepad icon, and clicking on that allows you to send feedback to PicLumen. So if you have any suggestions, or maybe you want to see a feature added to PicLumen, simply click this icon and fill out the feedback form. Okay, so I know that was kind of a quick overview, but hopefully you have a better feel for where things are. Next, let's explore the AI text-to-image generation and start creating images with PicLumen. In this portion of the tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use PicLumen's AI text-to-image generation tool. So anytime you want to generate an image from your account homepage, within the left sidebar, click on where it says Create. And this will bring you to the text-to-image AI image generation interface. And I know you want to start creating images, but let me give you another quick tour of this interface so that you could have a solid understanding of how everything works. So once again, on the left, we have the sidebar menu, and it's the same as your home dashboard, so you should be pretty familiar with it. Then if you look towards the top of the screen, you'll see some image settings. And these let you control various aspects of how the AI interprets your prompt and what your image looks like. For example, first we have the type of model being used, and if you click on that drop down, you'll see the additional models to choose from and use for your images. And models are basically advanced algorithms that have been taught different art styles and techniques. So these models really understand how to make your work look realistic, or like anime, or like line art. Simply select the model that you want to use and you're good to go. Next to that are the different aspect ratios that you could choose from, and clicking that drop down will give you the ability to essentially change the size of your images. Feel free to experiment with different sizes and aspect ratios as you are creating your images. Next is the generation mode, and there are two to select from: quality and fast. The quality mode takes a bit longer to generate images, but the quality of those images will be better. The fast mode creates images faster, but there is a dip in the quality of your images, just FYI. Next, you can determine how many images to create, and you could select 1 to 4 images, but keep in mind that the more images you select, the longer it may take to generate them. And for this example, I'll create 2 images, so I'll select 2. There we go. Below that is the prompt text box, and this is where you'll type your prompt. But you can do a few other things here as well. For example, if you click this little image icon, you can upload an image and use it as a reference for your prompt. And we'll use it a little later on in the video, but it's a cool feature to help guide your prompts. And speaking of that, let's enter a text prompt now and create some AI images. And it's pretty straightforward. Just start typing in the text box where it says prompt. And I could probably create an entire tutorial on what makes a good prompt, but PicLumen recommends that the more detailed and specific your text prompt is, the better the AI image generator can understand and create what you really want. For example, instead of saying a cat, try something like a fluffy orange cat wearing a wizard hat sitting on a bookshelf. This helps the AI paint a clearer picture. And for this particular example, I'm using a prompt from the community feed, which is a cubist style of a fragmented man with geometric shapes and abstract forms set in a dynamic, multi-perspective environment by Pablo Picasso. So this image should look like a piece of art by the famous artist Pablo Picasso. And if you're struggling to come up with a detailed prompt, remember PicLumen has some great help docs filled with a ton of tips on how to craft the perfect prompt. Just visit the tutorial tab in your dashboard to access these resources. Okay, after you've entered your text prompt, you have the ability to configure the settings even further by clicking this little icon in the upper right corner of the text box. And this opens additional settings where you can tweak some parameters like the negative prompt. This is really cool because it lets you specify what you don't want in your images. By default, PicLumen starts you off with the negative prompt of not showing not safe for work content or watermarks. But feel free to experiment with different negative prompts to see what works best for you. Next to that are the CFG scale and steps settings. And CFG, which stands for Classifier Free Guidance, is a parameter that helps control the balance between the model's understanding of your prompt and its learned prior knowledge, which includes patterns, styles, and biases. And adjusting the CFG value can help you find the right balance between creativity and precision in the generated images. Again, I know I might have thrown a lot at you there, but basically, if you want more creative outputs, you could set it to a lower CFG, while for more precise outputs, the higher CFG is preferred. Below that is the steps parameter, and this determines the number of iterations that the model goes through to refine your image. And you can adjust the steps to balance between speed and quality. So for quick previews and drafts, fewer steps might be sufficient, while for final high quality outputs, more steps are probably required. Overall, balancing CFG scale and steps is often about finding the right combination of the two in order to achieve the desired output quality and creativity. So experimenting with different values can help you understand how these parameters affect your results. And finally, we have the seed. And this is a numerical input that initializes the random number generator used by the AI model. And without getting into the technical weeds, each image has a unique seed number, and by default it starts at -1, but once the image is generated, it'll be assigned its own unique seed number. You can then use that seed number in future image generations to create consistent results. This is useful when creating consistent AI-generated characters. Okay, so those are the additional settings for the prompt, and once you've configured them to your liking, it's time to create your AI images. So whenever you're ready, click the Generate button. And the AI gets to work, and the images will load and display below in the generation history feed. Now, depending on the settings and parameters that you have implemented, the time it takes to generate these images will vary. And you can monitor the progress here in the sidebar. When you first submit your prompt to the AI, it'll be notated here with a number. And I only sent one request to the AI, so we'll see the number 1 here with a purple circle around it. And this means that the request to generate the image has been added to the queue, which basically means your request is in line waiting to be processed. And depending on how busy the server is and how many other people are creating images, this time may vary as well. But once it's out of the queue and being processed, which means your images are actually being generated by the AI, this number will turn green, and your image should be ready in a few minutes. And when I first used PicLumen, I didn't really know how that worked, but after creating a few images, I started to understand the queue process, and I'll show you how that works during my next image generation. So for the time being, let me fast forward a few minutes so you could see the final product. And voila, check that out. Our Cubist Pablo Picasso styled images are ready, and they look amazing. I love the style, color scheme, and design. Then once your images have been generated, you have a few more options in terms of editing them. If you hover your mouse over the image, in the bottom right corner there are 2 icons. The first one is the HD fix, and this gives you the ability to enlarge the image 2 times its size to potentially fix face and hand issues. Now, I'm not going to use it for this image, but I will use it in my next image generation example so you can see how it works. Next to that are these 3 dot icons, and clicking on this gives you access to some additional features like the ability to copy the link to the image. You can also download the image to your computer. There's even a feature that removes the background, and this image isn't really a good example for that, but you can remove the background to your images by clicking here. Next is the remix feature, and we'll use this in just a bit, but this basically lets you reuse the exact prompt and settings of this image and offers a way to refine, iterate, and explore new artistic possibilities based on an initial image. And finally, you can delete the images altogether if you need to by clicking here. Then if you click on the image itself, you'll get an enlarged version of that image along with a toolbar on the right where you could share the image across different social platforms. You could download the image to your computer, remove the background, use the HD fix feature, and delete the image if needed. Then towards the right, you can see the prompts that you used for that image. You can copy them and reuse them if you'd like to. Then below that are the image settings for you to reference. And then finally, we have the remix button all the way towards the bottom. And clicking this basically takes this prompt and all of the settings and allows you to create an image with these exact prompts and settings. However, you can remix or edit them if needed, but this remix feature is designed to give users the ability to modify and experiment with existing images, either to improve upon them, explore new directions, or generate variations that maintain a connection to the original prompt. Okay, so hopefully that gave you a good understanding of how the PicLumen image generator and the settings work. But next, let's go through the process again, and this time create a totally different type of image with different settings. So for this example, let's say I want to change the aspect ratio and make an image that uses a landscape dimension. So from that aspect ratio dropdown, I'll select 16:9, and that'll give me a rectangular sized image. Then I'll leave everything else as is. But for the prompt, I'll type that this image should be a beautiful blonde woman beside a car, 1980s vibe, neon light Miami Beach, long shot. I'll also leave the additional settings as is, And then let's generate these images. So we'll click the generate button. And once again, whenever we do, you'll see that the job status displays in the sidebar. And if you hover your mouse over it, you can see that we have 2 images in the queue, and there's an estimated 3 minutes left before the image begins processing. But you'll see that as we wait, those times aren't literal. See, now it's 2 minutes, and in a few seconds, we're down to 1 minute. Then, after that minute has passed, the number will turn green. And this means that the AI has begun to generate our 2 images. Now, the time it takes to finish can vary, but typically you'll need to give it 1 to 2 minutes to do its thing. However, if you feel that it's taking too long, I recommend visiting the Explore tab and then refresh the page, and then come back here to the Create tab, and you should see your new images in your personal feed below. That's just a quick workaround if the images don't show up after a few minutes. And check that out. We now have our 2 images of the blonde woman from the 80s next to a car in the Miami night. Looks great. And I have to say that for a free AI image generator, PicLumen's quality is up there with some of the paid AI image generators. I'm really impressed with what I've been able to create here. Then remember, to take a closer look at your images, simply click on them in your feed, and you'll get a larger version of that image to inspect along with the toolbar, prompt, and image settings. Looks great. Then one thing I forgot to point out in the last example was the image queue. So all the images that you create will display here, and you can actually click on them to view them as you would if they're in your feed. Just wanted to show you that feature. And taking a closer look at the second image from my prompt, looks really great, but let me show you how the HD Fix feature works. So if you recall, the HD Fix feature aims to upscale images to higher resolutions, enhancing their overall quality by refining details and improving sharpness. And all you'll do is click this little icon in the toolbar, and that will essentially regenerate the image with the HD Fix feature. And it'll go through the same process as if you were generating an image from scratch. So this image will be put in the queue, and we'll have to wait a few minutes for it to process, but for the sake of time, I'm going to fast forward, and when it's done, you'll get the enhanced version of the image that used the HD Fix feature. And as you can see, there are some subtle differences, and it may be hard to tell from this video, but the overall sharpness and quality is much better in my opinion, and there are some physical attributes of the girl that has been improved, like her hands. So feel free to experiment with the HD Fix feature whenever you're generating your images to see how they improve your results. Okay, next I want to go over how to use the Remix feature to create consistent characters with PicLumen. In this portion of the tutorial, I'm going to show you one way to create consistent characters in PicLumen by using the Remix feature. And as we touched on earlier in the video, the Remix feature is designed to give you the ability to modify and experiment with existing images, either to improve upon them, explore new directions, or generate variations that maintain a connection to the original prompt, aka consistent characters. So for this example, let's say I want to keep these settings in place for this image, but I want to place this girl in a different setting in a completely new image. Simply put, I'm going to remix this image, but use all the same information in a new image. This will not only use the same prompt, but it'll use the same model, seed, configurations, etc., allowing me to place our model in a completely different setting. And let me show you what I mean. So first things first, for this image, click the Remix button. And this will take all the settings and prompt and automatically put it in the image generator like so. Then this is when the Remix feature comes into play. You can tweak the prompt to place your character in different settings. So instead of her next to a car, I'm just going to place her at the beach. Now I would probably tweak this prompt in the settings even further, but for the sake of time, let's just go with this. Okay, so once you're done making your edits to the prompt, click the Generate button, and the AI gets to work. Then once again, for the sake of time, I'm going to fast forward really quick through the queue and the processing, and check that out. Our blonde character from the original image is now on the beach. The overall style and characteristics of our model look very similar, and I'm super happy with these results. Now, I would probably do some more tweaking with the HD Fix feature and maybe some additional setting configurations, but overall, I am really happy with the Remix feature. This can come in handy for a lot of use cases that need consistent characters throughout their images. Okay, moving on. The last thing I want to show you are the content, style, and character reference features. In this portion of the tutorial, I'm going to show you a powerful feature that allows you to upload an image and then customize and refine those images through content, style, and character reference settings. These features enable you to create images with specific themes, artistic styles, and recognizable characters, and it's super easy to use. So, within the prompt text box, if you click this little image icon located in the upper left corner, this will give you the ability to upload an image. And all you'll do is click on that little icon there, and then that'll allow you to find the image that you want to use. And I'm just uploading an image from my computer, and it's actually a landscape image of a sunset over the ocean. And then once you've added it, click on that image to add it to the image generator. Then this is where it gets cool. So if you click that little drop down, you could choose whether to reference the content, style, or character when generating a new image. It's essentially designed to guide the AI in focusing on specific elements or themes within the image, allowing users to emphasize certain aspects and ensure the output aligns closely with their vision. And for this example, I'm just going to use the content reference, but I highly recommend experimenting with the style and character references whenever you have some extra time. You can also alter the settings in the toolbar at the top of the screen there, but I'm just leaving them as is for this example. Additionally, you can also add a text prompt if you like in that text box, but I'm just going to have the AI generate directly from the image using the content reference. So whenever you're ready, click the generate button to send this to the AI. And once again, it'll be placed in the queue and will begin processing in a few minutes. And then if we fast forward again really quick, you'll see that the AI has generated a replica of my original uploaded image using only the content reference. Remember, I didn't add a text prompt, I just uploaded an image and then told the AI to reference the content to generate a new image, and this was the result. Looks great and is super useful when it comes to generating images with AI. So that's going to do it for this video. If you found it helpful, I'd greatly appreciate it if you would like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Blog with Ben YouTube channel. Also, if you're thinking about starting a blog, you gotta check out my step-by-step tutorials. They'll show you everything you need to know in order to build, grow, and monetize a professional WordPress blog. And as always, your support means a great deal to me and my family, and for that, I thank you. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.